Some pole work, so I'm just going to walk her in hand, in a head collar, over the poles. Are being silly. And look at that and see what she thinks. Good girl. Right guys, welcome to week 1 of backing Winnie. She's feeling a bit antisocial. She doesn't want to come back into shot. I think she thinks she's going to walk into the back of the stable there, but she could just go that way. And she's got about 2 meters before she hits the wall. Don't use... You're not really... The stable door is also open. So she's being a very good girl. I've just ridden Casper in the school for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. And she's in the barn completely on her own. And she made a little bit of noise at first, like a couple of whinnies. She's called Winnie. Sorry. Yeah, a couple of whinnies. Then she got over it. No, you can't leave the door. But tonight, I thought, as I've just ridden Casper, I'll just see what she's like with throwing a numbner over her. And then Casper did some pole work, so I'm just going to walk her in hand, in a head collar, over the poles and see what she thinks of that. Let me go and get a saddle pad. Good girl. Right, so you guys know I love my Equitexes. I have 4 currently. I think we need a nice colour for her. I'm not sure what colour to go for, but if any, I don't buy them brand new because they're very expensive. So I'll be having a look on Facebook for some second-hand ones. Anyway, should we see what you think about this? You don't have to stand on top of me, sweetheart. I don't think she cares, to be honest. Okay. I'm stood on her right. I know that the camera sometimes flips it. I'm on her right, so we do it from both sides, but this was the side that I'm on, so this is the side that I chose to start with. Ooh. No, I should really shut that door, shouldn't I? You walk around with it on. Good girl. Ooh. Good. Sorry, just hit you then. Good girl. Should we face the other way? Now do that way. Okay. Good. I'm being quite rough because I don't want her to be flighty. She's also okay with it, like you can see. She's a little bit spooky, but she's fine. Right? She's not scary, is it? Move it all around. I don't want to create her to be a horse that you've got to be gentle around. Obviously, I don't want to hurt her in any way, but I don't want to have to be like, oh no, I can't do that too quickly because she'll get scared. I just want to be able to do it, just how I would with Casper. But I think I'm very good, hey? I do know that she's been long ranged, lunged with a roller on, so I do know she's had something over her before. Good girl, right, leave it at that and we'll wander off into the school. So I've just brought her into the school. We've got a couple of poles laid out. Good, are we going to walk past them? Oh, you can have a sniff of them. I know I've seen a video of you jumping a jump. So I know you've seen poles before. You do like just following me, don't you? Good girl. Right, we're going to put the camera in the corner, so hopefully it will capture everything. Yes, you good girl. Yes, you are. Right, let's put this down. Right, I hope I'm not at too weird of an angle because I have zoomed out at 0.5 to be able to get both sets of poles in the video. Are you going to stand still, young lady? Yes. Right, you know I've got treats, so we're just going to wander in hand over the poles And then I might also do some standing at the mountain block again, because that is a very good habit to install, isn't it? So I thought I would do a voiceover for this. I'm just walking her over the canter poles first, because that allows her to have a couple of steps with no poles in between, and just let her figure it out. She actually wasn't bothered at all. As I said, I've seen videos of her jumping, so she definitely has been over poles. She knows what they are. But I do like to double check things, like going back to the basics first. And then we wander over the trot poles. I do have treats in my hand, so I'm giving her treats to make sure she knows that she's done a good job. And then we go over the trot poles, and then I decide to start moving her back end a bit, when instead of sort of leading her round in a circle, just getting her moving that back end away from me to get her concentrating on me, because I believe the sheep were in the field down the other end, and she was looking at that. Here I wasn't concentrating at all, as she just wandered off the edge of them, but she came back to me, which is a good girl. And again, I move her away from me. She's just very conscious that I've got treats, and she does take advantage of that and start nibbling. But I walk her away from me and then walk her over the poles again. And I do repeat this several times. I've trimmed it out quite a lot for the vlog, because it would be very boring for you to watch my whole 20-minute session walking over some poles and doing some mounting. But that's how it is with babies. It is very slow and very boring. But as you can see, she literally doesn't care at all. She dropped her treat here. She doesn't care at all about walking over the poles. She's not bothered by it. She's very happy. I do just correct her there because she went to nip me. And then we look at walking over the poles again. So it's just repetition, making sure they understand what they're doing, because I want to know that when I'm on board her or long lining her from behind her, that she does understand that she goes over the poles, and they aren't scary. Because if she understands that from the ground, from me standing by the side of her, it means it's much easier when she is long lining, and she'll be more confident to go and take the lead over those poles, rather than me sort of having to try and chase her with two long lines, and trying to control her. And now I just decided to give her a bit of movement. Again, if you watch the Nutty vlogs from winter, you'll see why I like doing that, but it's just getting her using her core before she's in rhythm work. Then I leave the poles and decide to do some mountain block work. Now, we've done one day of this already, but I think it's very crucial, especially because I'm backing her the majority on my own. She has to be able to stand at a mountain block and stand nicely for me to be able to get on. I think because I'm backing her on my own, I'm likely to get on in the arena for the first time rather than the stable, so that I can use the mountain block. She's too big for me to be able to just hop on in the stable with no block. And I think that if I'm asking her to move in a stable, I don't want the mountain block to be in the middle of it and in the way and cause her to fall over. So I'm going to take things quite slowly and hope that I will be able to get on from the mountain block in the arena and have no explosions whatsoever, because obviously that is the risk when you do it in the arena. It's obviously a much bigger space. They can go much further if they react to you. But that is my plan, is just to make sure she's comfortable and she doesn't want to explode, basically. Because I think if they explode often, they haven't understood a step along the way. So with the mountain block, I am correcting her. I'm taking her backwards when she steps away from it, because I think that will enable her to learn more about where should be stood, than if you just keep walking her in a circle around the mountain block. I obviously do that in some places, because she just, like here, she completely moved out of the way, so I couldn't walk her backwards, but I just brought her back round to where I wanted her to be. and got her to stand again, which in a head collar is much harder to get them in the right position than with the rein on both sides, because obviously I'm turning her head, so therefore her back end swings out. It's just a natural process. But I decided that actually if I put the treat on the other side of her, she won't swing her bum out to come and grab the treat. So that's then what I start working on, is being able to bring her to the mountain block, lean over her a bit and offer her the treat on the other side. She still walks away when you put pressure on her back at the moment. So we're working on that, working on getting her used to it. I think I probably overdid the mountain block this day, because she got bored. She started to get the hang of it, which you'll see in a minute. She starts to get the hang of it really nicely, and then it just goes backwards a bit for a little bit. So yeah, that's something I need to be conscious of, is it is quite a boring thing for a pony to do, that actually I need to be conscious of not doing too much of it, and just once she's done it a couple of times nicely, just leaving it at that. I do know it's a slow process. I was sort of just repeating it and thinking that repetition will work with her, but obviously every horse is different, and I think she just got bored by the repetition, and she didn't really understand, because I was repeating it, she didn't understand why I kept repeating it, thought she must have been doing something wrong. So actually, once she's done it nicely a couple of times, that's where I give up or need to change things or go back to doing the poles and then come back to the mountain block. So that's what I've learned from this session and from getting to know her. But yeah, I think she's going to be a very lovely girl. She's good as gold. I'm putting a bit of weight on her. I learned that actually I don't want to lean the whole way over. The issue I have with this mountain block is that the final step is a poly jump block, which isn't the most stable to stand on. So when she's wandering off as I'm stood on it, it's not ideal. So I do need to go and get my 3-step mountain block and actually bring it into the school so we can practice with that, rather than standing on a wobbly block, because I do think about that and I am conscious of that. So here she stands really nicely. She lets me lean the whole way over her. She gets a treat, which she's quite naughty. She does sort of bite as she grabs the treat from the other side, I think because it's making her stretch. And then I just do it a couple more times, so she stood nicely there, and then I make her stand a couple more times, grabbing the treat on the right again, so that's what she's looking for. She's not wandering off. Well, she has there. And then I call it a day. So I'll let you guys just have the natural sound for now, because I'm sort of out of things to say. Good. Drop your treat again, good girl. Stand there. Stand. Good. Good girl. Ooh. Good. Ooh. Good. Girl. Good girl. Go. Good. Okay. Right, so I'm going to leave it at that. She stood nicely. I'm running out of treats. And I don't want her to get bored. I want her to find everything interesting. I think when you're doing things with a young horse, your bond is very important as well. So we've come out here, we've had some cuddles. I have corrected her. But I've also given her lots of treats. So hopefully she's starting to trust me, but also respect me, because I think that is very important with horses. I do think that they need to respect you, but I don't think you need to beat them to get them to respect you. I think you can just put them back in their place. So as you saw, I was just reversing her, because I think that if you walk them forwards away, they don't really know what they've done wrong. Whereas if you put them back in their spot, that she's able to understand a bit more. It's like putting a dog back in stay. You walk it back to where it's meant to be and you leave it there again. And it's just repetition until they understand, isn't it? Good girl, you are a real softie. She's going to go straight out in the field now. And then we'll have some more fun tomorrow, won't we? Good girl. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you her movement, because you guys haven't really seen that yet. And I thought I'd let her off whilst I moved the poles away so she could get used to the bangs. And the ponies are being silly. And look at that. I mean, okay, that's a bit expressive compared to normal, but even her normal trot is so beautiful and floaty. Winnie, try to walk on. Walk on. Good. You want to go that way? Go that way. Good. Look at her. She floats. Yes, you're very concerned by the sheepies, aren't you? Not that way, you donut. You need to go the other way. Good. There, yes. Look at that. Oh, she's such a beauty. Good girl. Hello. Right. Should we go in then? Good girl. Come on then. So we're now on day 3. This one being at home. And I am going to, it's a bit windy and grizzly outside, so we're going to do some stuff in the stable. I'm going to tack her up fully for the first time. As I've said before, I know for a fact that she's had a roller on and been lunged in it, so I know she's comfortable having things on her tummy. But we're just going to see what we do tacking up, aren't we? She's stood in a very awkward place to try and get a bridle on, though, on camera. You twist it round a bit. Can you go back? Let's go back to the stable. Good girl. Tell your mum. Come on. Very good at walking away from pressure, aren't you? Good. Good. Back. 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 There we go. Well done. Good. So as I've said before, she's had a bridle on plenty of times. So it's not the slow, gentle process that it would be if I was doing this for the very first time. Yeah. Good girl. You gonna put that in? I'm not gonna rush her. Good. Let her put her mouth over it. Oh, you're so good. Good girl. I think we do need a bigger brow band, don't we? Because this is a cob-sized bridle. And although everything else fits nicely, I think technically you could do with a bigger headpiece and a bigger brow band. Everything else is perfect. Good girl. So I'm just going to do this up. Don't do it too tight. You can still move around a lot. I think you can still get 2 fingers in there. It's annoying because it is on. There's one more hole it could go on, but that's a punched in hole that I don't really like to use because it's very close to the end. So you could probably do with a slightly bigger nose band, but it sits perfectly, and this length is very good, so it shouldn't go higher than the corner of their eye on the buckles. So yeah, it does fit very nicely there. But anyway, right, let's walk you around. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Ooh. Walk you the other way. Turn. Turn. Come on. Good.
Really had anything done, so
she's had bridle and a roller on.
Right, okay, so yeah.
And lunged. What do you think of that? That's scary? Is that one going to fit you, or do you have to have the big one? You walk around with that on now? Going to dangle and touch your legs. You go, come on. Spinning with your body.
Oh, she goes, oh.
There's a wall there. Can we walk forwards? Good. I know, something's dangling, isn't it?
And it doesn't help that I'm stood there. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. See
you later.
Have fun and enjoy.
Bye. Come on, turn this way. Good girl. No idea what she's saying. Right, so we've tried the breastplate on, wandered her around with that on, and she's absolutely fine, doesn't care about that touching her tools. So now I'm going to get saddle pads, do that again. I'm taking it a little bit slowly because I don't know how well she's accepted this previously, but I do know she's had it on, if that makes sense. Catherine, no. Good girl, back you go. Back you go. Back you go. Good girl. Oh, we just pop that on. Good. We want to get her used to things moving around up here, because that's where you'll be when you get on. Good girl. As we saw yesterday, she is fine with the saddle pad going on. So just walk her around with that on again. Okay. Good girl. And as you can see, she's chewing, which means that she's nice and relaxed. Okay? Now, get the saddle. Ghost. You wait. Back. Good girl. Back you go. Back you go. Back you go. So, I've got Caspi's saddle here. No idea if it's going to fit her remotely, although I wouldn't say they're too dissimilar in shape. So I'm just going to plop this on, see how it fits. But again, I'm not sitting in it, so it doesn't matter too much, as it's just perching on her rather than being ridden in it. Good. Yeah. Look at you. Hey. Casper. It's just knocked the lick off the side. You're a bit concerned. That's a slightly concerned face. Good girl. I know it's moving on you. Good. Again, you don't want to be too soft and gentle because you don't want to spook her when you come and do this and you forget. Good girl. Let's just walk you around, see if you're okay with that. Hopefully it stays nicely in place. That's it. Move those legs. Good. we haven't yet got the licking and chewing that we normally do. So just leave it on there for a bit. I'd actually say it fits her better than it fits Casper, to be honest. Really nicely. Good news. Again, we just want her to relax a bit more. There we go. Can we get some licking and chewing? Hey, walk around again. Good girl. So I had a big sigh then. Feels good. Hey, relaxed. Good girl. I'm going to put that in so that if I do the girth up, it's ready to go. Good girl. Doing a little bit concerned, but not too concerned. Good. Nice and relaxed. I feel like that's better, isn't it? That's where it should be. Just doing a big sigh, which is good, and we've now got licking and chewing. So we're going to put it on here, let it rattle around a bit. She's not bothered at all. I'm going to place it under her tummy. So these ones are quite good for this because they are curved. I can place it under her tummy so it's touching all her sides without it being attached. So good girl. Absolutely not bothered by that. I'm going to try and walk her around whilst holding it on her tummy and see what she thinks of this. Come. Good. So we've already got licking and chewing. Come. Good girl. And woo. So she's not bothered by that at all, so I'm just going to do the girth up. Good girlie. Come up. Good. And more. Good girl. So it's done up very, very loosely, like very, very loosely. I can fit my whole hand in there. Just going to wander her around again before I try and do it up again. Good girl. Good. Again, we've got licking and chewing. Good girl. And woo. So I'm going to pop it up so it's reasonably tight. Good girl. Still got a little bit of looseness. It's a bit elastic. I'm just going to walk around like that and see what she thinks. Good girl. Well, that is perfect. So she's so unfazed by that at all. I think it's going to be quite easy to break her in. I think she's obviously done a lot already and started that process. So it is going to be a lot quicker than if I was starting this completely from scratch. But I still want to take her out on long reins, but I want to do that with the saddle on. So that's why we're getting to this stage first. We'll do it in the school a little bit and I'll take her for a walk in hand, like me leading her rather than long lining her, or we long line out on a hack. And I'll also try to get to the point where I feel comfortable leading her off Casper. so she can go and see the world with a friend. But I don't want her to get used to just having Casper by her side all the time. Very pleased with that. I'm gonna take her out and walk her around the school in hands, just like this, and just see what she thinks of that. But that is what we're doing for today. Very pleased. So I brought her out. It's a little bit windy, but you can just tell by the way her eyes are, her ears, her behaviour, that she's on high alert. So we've wandered around a little bit. We're not going to do any mountain block things or anything. I just want her to be nice and relaxed as we're walking around. I feel like these vlogs are going to be the longest things ever. I think this might be the end of vlog part 1, to be honest, because otherwise they're going to be ridiculously long. But we have tack on. Very exciting. So next stages are going to be long reining, lunging, and then it'll be getting on. So yeah, I'll take you with us to long reining, lunging. First jump on the lunge as well with me. I know she's done it before because I've had videos. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, again, this isn't how you should do it. This is just how I'm doing her in this specific moment, reading her cues. It's very clear she's obviously done a lot before, so if you were doing this from the beginning, this would be very, very rushed. It's just obvious she's done a lot. Ooh, good girl. She's done a lot already, and she is ready for these steps, whereas if she hadn't done anything, this would be a mega rush. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm just going to keep walking her around because she is wired. Look at that face. She's not concentrating on me. She's looking at everything else around the arena. So we're going to work on just getting her concentrating on me, thinking about me, not concentrating on anything else. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Good girl. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We will be publishing videos. She might be every week for a little bit of her, so you might be getting 2 videos a week at the moment whilst it's sort of event season. There's a fly right in my face and I cannot see it. There we go. Yeah, so you might be getting 2 vlogs a week at the moment whilst it's event season and Casper's out and about doing a lot and she's doing a lot, and then it'll go back down to every week. Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on so you can see when these vlogs are going live. And I will see you next video. Will be Casper's eventing at the weekend. He's going to Hawick. I think that's how you say it. So that'll be the next video on this channel.